It's the final push for parties to do any form of campaigning as the local government elections draw near. We have seen a surge in shutdown campaigns in different communities due to poor service delivery, and that has happened over the last few months or so. The issues raised by residents include the growing number of potholes, lack of electricity, unavailability of drinking water, refuse not collected, sometimes for months, and allegations that jobs in local government are given to people aligned to political parties. Well, if residents are raising all these issues on the streets instead of speaking to their local government representatives, what is going wrong? eNCA's Pule LETSHWITI-JONES and Monique Mortlock are speaking to people in the Northwest and in the Northern Cape. They join me now, and Pule is in Lichtenburg and Monique is at the Solplaatje municipality in Kimberley. Let's start with you, Pule. You are in Lichtenburg, and I understand there that among the key issues that are at play in the running of that municipality is the issue of electricity and illegal connections, as well as the stability of the municipality.
Well, Tula, certainly what I can tell you is that this is one municipality that has, had troubles and been plagued by a lot of challenges as well. And what we've witnessed before was, certain ANC councillors having protested, and they brought this township to a shutdown here in Lichtenburg, and of course this entire area complaining about certain issues which relate to service delivery. But I'm just going to show you a quick example of what I'm talking about on my left-hand side. If you can see here, this is just a clue of illegal connections that go on in this area, and people have now taken the law into their hands, saying the municipality has not come out to assist them, and they're quite upset with the ignorant officials who they say have not responded to their obligations, and in time some of their demands during community meetings. You remember that the ANC member Obed Papela was once deployed to come and ensure that he speaks with community members in this area where there was protests, and there was also a councillor who was murdered in the process during a shutdown that took place. But to give this story a voice, we're just going to speak to one of the community members of this area as well. And excuse me if there are any terrible audio to us, because it's a bit windy in this area we are in. Dr. GOEIEMAN, thanks for joining us on eNCA this morning. Now, I'm with you again 2 weeks later. The NEC member Obed Papela came here, promised that there would be some sort of change, but there's nothing. In fact, it seems like things are deteriorating and becoming even more worse. Is this something as a community you're concerned about, that there's no action that's been taken by some of these officials who are running this municipality?
Thank you, Pule. Since Mr. Obed Papela's visit, tried to intervene here, there's nothing changed. And I think even on Friday he was here. He never came with anything that is concrete. He just ignored what the community wanted. So as community members, we accept that, okay, the faction that won, it won because they didn't listen to the community. They just listened to a certain faction that has won. So there's nothing we can do. As a community, our problem is a service delivery. When we go through surrounding areas, you will see that Bladeville, it is the only place that is not being catered when it comes to issues of service delivery. Even when you check behind you, these shacks, they've got close to 20 to 23 years being here. No action, no nothing. We have a land there, extension 4, where people a long time, 2018, they were doing infrastructure for roads and toilets and stuff like that. But come 3 years later, people are still stuck here.
Maybe before I go back to my colleague Tula, let's talk about the illegal electricity connections. When I drove in, I saw that some community members were busy connecting, illegal electricity cables as well. And there's kids running around, there's sewage, there's water all over. Is this something you're also concerned about as a community member that hasn't been addressed, and the municipality has not come to intervene in this matter?
The illegal connection of electricity have been, municipality knows about it. They know about the situation that people are enduring in this section. They've been reported, but nothing has been done. If they did the right thing by taking people where they're supposed to stay in Extension 4, I think this illegal connection and sewers will experience such thing. Like, for an example, in terms of sewer, we do have a memorandum, we have estates. People from this area, 90% of them, they have a TB because the sewage that is running running the way it wants. Like, even if you go through, when you enter through the shacks, you'll see there's no proper toilets. Toilet will be here and the shack will be here. So there's nothing. It's disgusting. If you can just go through it, you'll just see. So municipality doesn't care about the people of Bledeville.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
There you go. Community member or leader in this area of Bledeville and Lichtenburg, Tula's complaining about the lack of response time from municipalities and some of those challenges that have affected them, and most importantly their daily lives. Quite terrible living conditions in this area. And of course, just a few weeks ago we had witnessed the ANC in full swing campaign in this area. I was here to witness it. They promised residents that they would start implementing bit by bit change in terms of some of those poor sanitation challenges that these community members are facing. But as you've heard, that hasn't been the case. In fact, they're still waiting for them to come and ensure that also the municipality goes around its way to ensure that there's proper service delivery in this area.
In the northwest, from the northwest to the Northern Cape, and Monique, where you are, Solplaatje municipality, the little I remember is that among the issues there, parts of that municipality were pothole riddled, but also issues of water and just basically water running all over the show, as well as refuse collection. What else is at issue? And I understand you'll be speaking to the mayor as well.
Yes, I thought it only fitting that we start with Mayor Patrick MABILO. It is actually his birthday today, so a very special day for him, just to find out what his municipality has been doing regarding some of these issues. Of course, we'll be fleshing out a bit more of these issues as the week goes on in that run-up to the big election day, chatting to residents, to community leaders and to various parties. But Mayor Patrick MABILO, thank you very much for joining us on your birthday. Let's start with, during your term or tenure as mayor, what have been some of the most challenging moments? I know that this municipality has been plagued with service delivery protests over the last couple of years.
First of all, we are grateful for the fact that the first priority when I got in as a mayor was to stabilize the municipality. As clearly indicated, for almost 6 months, there was a paralysis in the city. So my priority was to stabilize the municipality, both administratively and politically, through governance and so forth. So we have managed to achieve that in terms of passing our budgets, in terms of outlining our plans. The greater challenge has been low income, vandalism, and COVID-19 has been the major challenges. And also the city is 150 years old, so infrastructure has become a serious challenge, where there has been burst pipes all over and sanitation challenges. However, through our intervention plan, we have managed to address those challenges. We have done more, but we admit that there's still a lot to be done, and this time we say it must be accelerated.
And Mayor, if when a new mayor steps in after the first is said and done, what would you like to see happening? You mentioned that intervention plan. We've been hearing from residents in some communities like Roodepan that there are still issues around no electricity, no clean drinking water. We were told when we got here we can't drink the water from the taps, and this has been a problem for many years. What more will still be happening, will still be implemented to improve the lives of the electorate?
Well, what we have indicated is that the social problems affect the municipality in terms of theft. That area is adversely affected through vandalism and theft of our assets, like your cable theft. Once those things are stolen, they affect the free flow of the system. However, our teams are working round the clock to address those challenges. We want to say we've got a handover report that is ready, and the solid foundation that we have laid the mayor who is incoming will be able to do that. One, we have invested massively in infrastructure over the years. That's why all over there are buildings, etc., and confidence in the city. Secondly is the question of service delivery that is accelerated. All over, potholes have been fixed, infrastructure in terms of the sewer plants, the electricity pump stations, massive, more than 10 billion that we have used over the period of time. So therefore, what we say, once the new mayor takes over, there's a solid foundation and it's just to accelerate. And as well is the economic investment, both domestically and foreign direct investment. Those will be the key priorities for the new mayor that I am unable to complete. But there's also 3 major projects. One is called the KRD, Changing the Face of the City. It's a 7 billion project which will enhance the aesthetics of the city, create jobs, empower SMMEs. There's a big old precinct that is a multi-billion project that is in the pipeline. And lastly is the solar. So the mayor who comes in is not going to get in empty-handed. She will inherit a solid foundation. However, we have delivered in terms of the massive infrastructure. We are number 2 in the country. I'm saying it here without contradiction in terms of the electricity provision. Independently audited, we are number 2 in the country, and as a result, we have been pumped with a lot of money in terms of grants. Secondly, we have been rated as number 4 in the country as a secondary city, highly performing city, over and above the smaller service delivery issues, but we are a high impact municipality recognized nationally in terms of our provision, in terms of our service delivery record. And we are proud of that as a municipality.
Thank you very much. I can see that was Mayor Patrick Mabilo on his birthday there, chatting to us about the foundation that's been laid during his tenure as mayor that the next mayor will be able to build on. But obviously we'll be chatting to community leaders, to residents, and seeing for ourselves, hearing from them what has been done, what more needs to be done when that new mayor steps in.